Hi everyone, it's Suyin here. Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be about renting versus buying, and I guess it's very timely because it's exactly 1 month since I've moved into this rental unit with my boyfriend, and I guess a lot of people have opinions about whether you should rent or whether you should buy, so let's explore this and jump straight in. Okay, so first off, we're gonna make some assumptions here. I'm gonna assume that I'm talking to you who you're probably in your 20s or maybe you're in your early 30s. So that is the case for me. And also the other assumption that is important to make is that we are choosing to rent or to buy for our own stay. So now those assumptions are out of the way. Remember to like this video if you like it and also share it with your friends if you found value in it as well. The thing that we always hear from other people is that if you're renting, you're just throwing your money away. So I've gotten this a couple of times when I told people in my life that I want to rent an apartment or rent a home, and I think this is not fully justified. I do see a reason as to why they would say that. Yes, you are helping to make someone else rich if they're an investor in this home and they are collecting rental money. So yeah, more power to them. But there is also a benefit for me when I choose to rent, and it's namely this. I get to test out the place to see whether I can actually see myself living here and whether it is suitable for us and our needs at this current point in time. So meaning things change very quickly. We hear this quite a lot the moment you have more members in your family, aka kids or dogs or whatever, and your criteria for living in a place will shift as well. So at this point in time, I don't plan to have any extra people in the place, but I am looking for likability of this place. How do I feel when I come home, or how do I feel when I wake up, and how do I feel moving around the space? Am I enjoying it? And that's something that we can only get a sense of when we have experience staying in that place. It's really hard to just walk into a property and get a sense of, okay, yes, I will definitely love living here. I think it takes time and it takes experience. So that is a major benefit to actually renting before choosing to buy. The other counterpoint to rent money is dead money is that you actually get a lot of benefit from renting a property, because there is often a big difference between what you pay in rent per month versus the mortgage you're going to service if you actually bought the place. So to give you an example, this is not the real rates for this home, but let's just say I am paying 800 ringgit in rent per month, and it actually costs me 1,500 ringgit to service the same property's mortgage. So there is a big difference there where I can actually pay less just to rent the place. Ooh, do you see the saliva? There is actually a big difference there where it will cost me less to rent the place, and there is often a hidden cost when it comes to property ownership. So don't quote me on this. Everything that I say regarding property ownership is not from my own experience. I don't own any property. So you can check out other people like Yi-Heng on YouTube here. He has a great channel. But what I want to say is there are definitely going to be hidden costs associated with purchasing a home. And I can tell you, because the moment I moved into this place, the fridge started acting up. And as a renter, I found myself very happy to be able to go to my landlord and say, hey, the fridge has issues. Can you send someone to come and fix it? So the landlord actually needed to call a serviceman and then foot the 400 ringgit bill just to maintain this fridge or any other things around the house that were broken, needed repair or servicing. So that was all foot by the landlord because that's their obligation, because I am a renter of their space. So that's really cool. But when I actually own a place, all of that cost and all of that work would have to be borne by me, the owner, and that's why at the moment renting is still very much advantageous. And then if we just dial it back a little bit and look at the figures there, renting costs 800 ringgit, just an example, and the mortgage would cost 1,500 ringgit. that's per month. So there is a difference in 700 ringgit there. And because we are financially savvy, we are well on our way to be financially independent in the future over the long term. What we're going to do is actually invest the difference in what it would have cost us. So if the difference is 700 ringgit every month, what I would do personally is get that money to work hard for me, put it in the stock market, put it in an ETF, put it in a robo-advisor platform if you don't really want to invest yourself actively. And that money is enabled to compound over time. And that is really, really cool because 700 ringgit per month is actually, 8,400 ringgit a year. And that is extra money that you have working hard for you. And maybe in the future, you can actually use that money to purchase your home as you continue to save and invest for it. One more thing about renting versus buying is home ownership. We cannot have a video talking about renting versus owning without talking about how this affects us. Having a home in society or owning your own home has a lot of pride attached to it and also something very close to bragging rights. So what I normally like to ask myself, is this a conditioned belief that I need to own my own home to feel financially secure and to feel proud of myself? And so far, I don't believe that I need to own my own home to feel good about myself. And a lot of it is actually just other people inserting their opinions into our lives. And in my opinion, I think that is a very difficult way to live. So I'm just gonna go based off of my own opinions and what I want to do. And right now what I want to do is rent. So we're all entitled to our own opinions, and it's easier said than done, but we just need to protect ourselves from other people's nosy opinions. I guess that's something that we can try to do. So one of the things that I really like about personal finance and doing this whole financial journey is that I get to learn a lot about myself and my preferences, what I like, my opinions. They start to slowly form as we get better and better and more knowledgeable along the way. So for now, what I think about this is that when I want to buy a home, I know for a fact that I have that sort of personality where I would love to spend as much as I can on that home because I have strong attachments to things that are mine. So I really want to give it my all. So knowing this, I know that I would probably spend a lot of money on furnishing, probably on design, probably on, fixtures, inbuilts, things like that. So in order to curb that spending, I actually rent as well. So that is a huge money saver for me. And eventually, yes, I do want to own my own home at some point in time in the future, but probably when I have a lot more money in my stock portfolio or in my bank accounts. I guess something to add is that it's important when we are buying our first property to not buy our dream home straight off the bat. And this one I got from my own thoughts, but also interestingly enough, I just checked out a video from Heung, and he was talking with James Tan, who is the CEO of a property development company, and they also echoed this same idea of don't buy your dream home as your first property. And I think that is very sound advice, because if we do that, we are actually enslaving ourselves to work very, very hard every single month just to pay off your mortgage and your obligations, and we'll probably get ourselves into a lot of trouble. So something that we like to give as a rule of thumb is don't spend more than 30% of your income on housing. And that is something that we can work on. And obviously, if we could actually shrink that number as much as we can, but not to the point where you feel like your life is threatened or you feel unsafe in your own home or community. So I don't know what else I should share with you based on renting versus buying. I guess what we can pay attention to is lifestyle creep as we are moving ahead in our financial journey, we will find that we suddenly start to have more money because we have found ways to earn more income or to increase our earning potential, and also that our investments are going the right way over time and they are actually building us wealth. It is important to make note of lifestyle creep or lifestyle inflation, where we keep upgrading to nicer and nicer things. So it could be things like, I don't know, furniture. Maybe we could start by buying secondhand, and then suddenly we start buying from IKEA, or we start getting them inbuilt, and then we get a designer. You know, those things really add up over time, and it's not just to do with the home, it's to do with how we eat, the places we go to on vacations, the cars we drive, all of that adds up. So just be careful in terms of what we are doing with more money, and this is something that I have to remind myself, because I have the tendency to want to spend on people and buy them gifts and treat them to meals. So it's something that I also do need to reel in. So that's why I find the bucket system really helps, because it gives me a guide as to how much maximum I can spend that month on the things that I enjoy. So yeah, I guess that's it for the video today, and everything that I say is entirely of my opinion. And the beauty about personal finance is it's so personal. You could do anything you want with your money because it's your money, and obviously that also comes with the consequences that we ourselves have to bear. So the conclusion is I will still rent over buy, and there are definitely other ways of doing this. There are people who do house hacking, where this is a investment strategy where they buy their home and then they portion it out very cleverly into different spaces, and they rent out rooms to other people so that they can service their mortgage. So this is an option, but I'm not that kind of person who wants to share my space with other people. So because of that, I have not opted to do this. That's it for the video, and I hope you enjoyed it. Help me with hitting the like button and subscribe if you haven't already done so. I will see you in the next one. Bye!